Hi everyone, so this video review is for Trial Run by Carsen Taite. If you want to check out my review, I have just posted that. So if you're on YouTube, there's a link in the description below, and if you're on my blog, there is a link within the post. And this is the video review. So Trial Run by Carsen Taite. This was intensely thrilling actually, and it's part of a series, and I haven't read the other books in the series. So Reggie gets stuck on the jury for a high profile and media intense kind of murder case, where she meets Brooke, who's another juror who seems as anxious as she is to get this, over and done with. She doesn't really want to do this task, but Brooke has been threatened, and she's been tasked with convincing the other jurors to agree on the only verdict that won't result in the end of her life and her family. So this story is part of a series, as I said, and having not read the other books, I did wonder if I'd be left with questions about past events and how people got to where they were, but it was all wrapped up really neatly into a story that works really well on its own. So if you haven't read the other books in the series, you can read this one. Carsen's put everything in there for you to understand who the characters are, where they're coming from, and how they're interconnected or linked to things. I am curious about Reggie now, though, so I'm probably going to check out the rest of the series when I can. But at first, to set the scene, everything had to be mostly from Brooke's point of view, and a little out of context until she and Reggie started speaking and spending time together. For Reggie to recognise that Brooke needed someone to talk to, and that something bigger was clearly bothering her, other than sort of being a busy single mum, and then also having her studies on top, and then also having this case to deal with. So it's difficult to share too much about the story because it would just give away way too many spoilers. But it was my first time meeting Reggie and Brooke, and I must say I admired them both. They both had a lot to deal with, and it took a lot of strength for Brooke to trust Reggie, as it easily could have made her situation so much worse, and she really didn't know who she could trust. And I loved how Reggie was calm and patient, though. She didn't try to push for anything. She knew something wasn't quite right. She knew there's no point pushing. And so she sort of used her skills that she had, because she already had experience of being in the courthouse, which Carsen very helpfully explores for you to understand if you haven't read the other books in the series. And she was probably the best person that Brooke could have met and confided in, really. So it helped that they seemed to just have this natural connection, and they slotted so perfectly with one another, and they got on really well when they were spending time together away from the trial and the problems of it. But I really enjoyed the intensity of the story being mixed in with those less demanding and calmer moments, to give it a really good balance of the intense with the less intense, sort of the nicer moments, to remind you that life sort of goes on, and that you have to get on with things. But it was a great story. I really enjoyed it. It was really easy to get invested in the case and the characters and the whole story. It's really enjoyable, and I recommend it for anyone who likes crime with a little bit of romance sort of thrown in as well. It was really, really good. So I'll pop a link in the description so that you can grab a copy of Trial Run by Carsen Taite, which I hope you will. If you've read Trial Run or the other books in this series, would love to know what you thought of them. If you haven't read Trial Run but you're planning to read it, it's on your to be read list, so you're now super intrigued and thinking, yes, I'd really like to read that one. And then again, it would be great to hear from you, so please do share and let us know. And if you do read Trial Run, I hope you enjoy it. It was really, really enjoyable story. So I hope you have a great time reading it. Bye.